Hello, hello. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and I'm just coming to you live. I'm hoping that some of my friends that are able to watch my live videos can come stop by. I tried to post this on social media on a couple of different pages, but I realize that not everybody is on Facebook and that sort of thing. But I'm going to give this a try, and I do see that there is someone here, and I'm hoping it's a crafty friend. I'm going to try to find myself here, and here we go. If you could bear with me, I'm trying to find my own video here to see if I can see the chat. It takes a moment. Oh, hi, Vicky. Hello, hello. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm hoping that I can actually do this and see the chat. And hello, Christine. Thank you for joining me. I'm became aware of the fact that I have an iPad mini that I forgot I even had. So I hope you guys can hear me, because what I did was that I looked it up and I thought, hey, maybe this will help me do the live videos, because if some of you may know that my craft room is different, it changed, and I'm not as tech savvy with these sort of things as I wish I were. But I figured, you know what, let me give it a try and see what happens. I'm just making a couple of things here, and I'm sorry that I'm talking slow, but I'm just trying to find the chat on my iPad. And here we go. I think I found it. Yay. Awesome. All right. So, good morning. I see that Vicky's here, Christine's here, and let's see here. Awesome. You can hear me. Wonderful. Well, I can see your chat, and now I can also see the video. So here are my hands. There looks to be, yes, there's a little bit of a delay as always, but I think that's just normal. So I'm just grabbing a couple of things here because I decided I'm trying to be good about, hi, Katie. Hi. Katie, I just wanted to let you know that my mother absolutely loved the cushion that you made. Guys, Katie is, she makes cushions, and I'm not sure the technique. Goodness, if you could tell us in the chat, Katie, what it's called. But she's from Ireland, and she made this beautiful cushion, and she showed the picture on Tonic Studios, the Facebook page. And I let her know that my mom loves horses because the image on the cushion was a horse. And so she sent me that for my mom. I was able to purchase that from Katie, so thank you so much. She did receive that, and so I sent Katie a picture of that cushion at my mother's home, and she was quite pleased with it. So I let her know, hey, now you can tell your friends you're an international artist, my friend. A tapestry. Thank you. That was the word. I'm not familiar with that type of craft, so I don't even know the you know, the terminology that goes along with it, but it was so beautiful. So anyway, yeah, she was very, very happy, and I'm so glad, you know, to be able to share the things that my friends make, you know, as a gift. Isn't that awesome? You know, when you meet people, and in this case, all the way from Ireland. So I thought that was really, really cool. So I am making a little card, and it's just a little Dex card is what I'm going to make here. But I figured since these stamps are something that I absolutely love using, then I'm just going to go ahead and play around, and you guys can join me if you like in watching. Nothing serious here. As you guys know, I don't take myself too seriously, so it's just more for the joy of crafting. I want to share that with those of you who like to watch these kinds of videos. I know I do. I enjoy watching other people create, because it gives me a lot of inspiration, and it's a great way to learn techniques and ask questions if you don't know. So that's my hope. I'm going to be using a Dex Card die and then this frame die. So what I'm going to do is that I have a piece here, and you can see I just have like kind of snippets of paper and that sort of thing. I have this stamp here, and this is from, let's see if I can bring it up closer. Santora London, if you guys know, of course, I love to use Gorguss Girls. This one's number 47, I Stole Your Heart. And thank you, Katie. Likewise, the sentiment is mutual. You know, I think we all inspire one another, and that's what I love about meeting people who love crafts also. So let's see here. I'm going to use this little girl, and I'm going to stamp her out, knowing, having the foreknowledge, as we say, that I'm not going to use the entire image. So if it's not absolutely perfect, I can forgive myself for it. And I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. If you're not familiar with this ink, it's really great for those really fine details, because it kind of, I don't know, it has a really good quality to it. And it's a dye ink, so I don't know, it's great. I don't know what else to say about that. So I hope everyone's doing great. Some of you I know have children and some of you don't, or they're all grown, but mine are, I have a gap in years between my boys. I have two sons, and so one of them started his senior year in college, and the other one started high school. Hi, Mrs. Stationery. Please tell me your first name if you can, because I like to refer to people by their names. And I like to learn everyone's name too, so it helps me out. So yeah, so my son, my youngest, started school yesterday. He was so cute. I always say that, of course. Laura, good afternoon, Laura. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just playing around with the crafty stuff. All right, so there she is in all her glory. So cute. And what I like to do, of course, is that I like to blast this with heat. Because if you don't, then that ink remains rather wet. But I'm going to try to do it rather quickly here. So don't mind me. I know someone... how did I get on in high school? Well, this is his first year, you know, in high school, and he loves it, of course. You know, there's that rite of passage when the boys or girls, they start that ability to say that they're high schoolers, you know, comes with certain perks, I guess. But he came home really happy, you know. He said it was okay, you know, because boys don't give a lot of detail, but that okay in a boy's world means awesome, I think. So, all right, so bear with me here. Just going to dry her off here. And I do hold this rather close to the paper, but I am gauging the heat. And this is very, very thick, 110-pound cardstock. Not that you have to use this for coloring, but... Oh, awesome. Oh yes, Katie, you said you were going to be doing memorial service and serving some, let's see here, some coffee. That's awesome. In memory of your mother. I think that's a beautiful idea. Absolutely beautiful. Why not commemorate those you love with something that's joyful and cheerful, right? And then you can gather around with loved ones and think about those fun times. And all right, so let's see here. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna smudge it. And I know this is kind of risky, but this lets me know if it's dry enough, and I'm going to say yes. It got a tiny little smear there, but I'm not too worried about that. And I normally keep also either baby wipes or one of these microfiber cloths. I try to keep these around, although this one's kind of covered in glitter. But I am consistent, right? Let's see here. I have a clean one. I like to keep these, and the reason I'm showing this is because this is the kind of stuff that you don't get to see in the edited videos. And it's I think it's important. It's an important part of keeping it real, as they say with crafting, is that you have to take care of your items, your materials, otherwise they will deteriorate. This is a really good high quality rubber stamp, or a high quality stamp. However, you do have to take care of them, and I know that there are people out there that don't wipe off the ink and that sort of thing. It's your prerogative, but I just find that if you keep your items clean, they last longer. And as you saw, I didn't add any water to that. But yes, I do use the microfiber cloth. I find that the reason being that this is meant to soak up liquid quickly, and so it cuts down on the time, and I don't have to spray it with water. It just wipes it all off. So I love these. I use this all over my craft room, and I'm a little bit of a clean freak, so that helps me with that as well. So I'm going to zoom in here, and let's, if you could bear with me, I think, there we go. All right, so that, because this is such a small image, that way you guys can see me coloring this. Now there's 101 ways that you can do this, of course, but I'm just going to grab my little bucket here of pens, and these are Nouveau alcohol pens that you can use, and I just find them to be convenient, and I try to, even though they're okay with this kind of ink, I still try to avoid the black as much as possible, and I'm just dabbing ink here and there. The hard thing with these stamps, I think, is finding the arms. Oh my goodness. But okay, so I wanted to ask you something. Yes, the baby wipes are just as good, because baby wipes, the formulation of that, as you guys know, is so safe for everything that it's going to be safe on any surface, you know, just as long as you allow it time to dry, then it should be fine. Okay, I'm trying to see here how dark I can make this little girl without it turning yellow. I seem to have misplaced one of my markers. I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably using the same one twice here, but I'm not. All right, so anyway, I try to go darker near the hairline there. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I had I have a question for you guys regarding the content of the videos on this channel, because of course I'm kind of all over the place in the things that I post, just because this channel kind of took a turn into the whole showing product and that sort of thing, and just to let you guys know, I've stopped doing that for I just took inventory of where I was headed and decided that I love all types of products, but I love the process of being creative without having to be concerned about how do I say it? About the timing of it and that sort of thing. Although I do sell some of my items, but I just found that the ethics behind some of the companies that, you know, I was showing items for didn't align with my beliefs, and so I was compromising, and so I decided to let that go. And so those kinds of videos won't be shown going forward, unless it's from a company that, you know, whose values I also agree with. But other than that, I hope that you guys enjoy the content of this channel. A lot of you, of course, agree with me that, you know, it's about enjoying the creative process. I just don't want to compromise, you know, don't want to compromise. So anyway, this is, I just used number 449 in case you're interested, and now I'm using pink grapefruit, which is 373. And so this is a more vibrant pink, but I am actually using it as a shadow here, and you'll notice right away the pop of color. And what I try to do here is try to stay toward the edges of where you would naturally see a shadow, and that's where I'm applying that darker color, even though it is more vibrant. And these girls, the stamps have yes, definitely. Oh, good morning, Irene. Thank you for joining us. And yes, there is the freedom and creativity that's kind of compromised in a way when you're doing it to meet a deadline. And mind you, I work best under pressure. That's just who I am. If I'm given a challenge, then I'm more motivated. But when it comes to crafting, when it comes to all of the stuff that I'm surrounded by here, I actually, and I've shared this before, I actually do this as a form of worship. I am a Christian woman, and so the things that I do with my hands, whether it be that I'm sewing something, or I'm making a card, or I'm writing a poem, whatever it is, I'm doing that to honor God. And so that's why I say, you know, I kind of hit this, kind of hit a wall, because I thought, okay, I'm doing something that I enjoy. I absolutely love all of the products out there. But there are certain things happening behind the scenes that I don't agree with. There are certain things happening as far as the consistency of product that I don't agree with. And then the people that I'm associating myself with, sadly, don't agree with what I believe in, which is that you have to, you know, protect the entity of the items you're using and all of that. Anyway, so I think you guys get the gist of what I'm saying here. I'm not going to keep rambling on about it. So it's, yeah, I feel so much better. It's such a, I don't know, that freedom just, whew, it's awesome. I feel so much better. And I'm still enjoying everything. That's the cool part, you know. There's such a variety out there of all sorts of things, and I still respect the creators. I really do. That part is not lost on me. I'm not. I will not devalue anyone else's work, because I understand how difficult it is. So yeah. All right, so if you guys see, I'm not really, I don't know if my coloring there made sense. Kind of lost track of it because I got rambling. But let's move on to her hair. And again, here are the colors that I used, in case anyone's interested. I'm not quite sure. I never know. So it's 475, 449, 374, and 373. In no particular order. So I'm going to move on to her hair, and what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go with some grays, because why not? Let's see here. So would you guys, I did a video of, thank you so much. I did a video of my craft room, but I'm hesitant to publish it. And, I wanted to know if that's of interest to anyone, because I don't, you know, I always fear being redundant, even though I know I talk a lot. But as far as putting things up on the videos and that sort of thing, I don't know. Like, I always ask myself, will anyone want to watch this? Is this interesting to anyone out there? Or is it just me? Okay, so here's a very, very light gray. But I am interested in finding out, would you guys be interested in seeing something like that? Because it's it can be a source of inspiration too, I think. Oh, okay, Irene, you would like to see it? Okay. Because you know what? There are, I like watching that sort of video, and you know what? Sometimes it's not even about the craft room as much as it is the way that people use their space. I think that's what appeals to me about that sort of thing. Because let's face it, you know, at the end of the day, you can have every tool, you know, you could ever imagine, and still not enjoy the process of crafting and all that. Which, if that's the case, then I don't know. You might have a problem. No, I'm kidding. You need organization? Yeah, you know what? It's kind of interesting. I know a friend who told me there's this girl on YouTube, and I say girl, but I mean a grown woman. And she has these organizational videos, and I wish I could remember her name, and I'm so sorry that I don't remember her name. But she came up with this whole concept of what type of organizer are you, and she calls them funny names like Ladybug and something. I can't remember. Hi, Tamara. And I think she's a genius. She was so good at explaining. I started watching her videos, and I really love the way she put it all together, because she mentions how, depending on how you are visually impacted by your environment, then what works for one person will not work for another. And she was so absolutely right about that. For instance, I have... for your vinyl. Oh, that's awesome, Tamara. I would love to see that. See, now I got IKEA furniture, and so if I share the video, you guys will see it. I got IKEA furniture, and it's kind of funny because for certain things it works awesome, and then other things I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't put that in there because then I'll never see it, and if I don't see it, I'll forget that I have it. So, and that's the case, for instance, with this. So I have this tiny little, dollar store bin, and I put all of the itty bitty little Gorguss Girls in there because I knew that if I fit them in a drawer, they'll never see the light of day. And what's the point of that, right? And that is the story behind my hi Vay. My wooden stamps are in a drawer. Do you think I even remember the wooden stamps? No, absolutely not. So, it's kind of like the junk drawer in the kitchen, that kind of concept where if you're anything like me, I hate having a junk drawer in the kitchen because I don't want that idea of there's a drawer of unused items. So I fight against it, but it happens in every home, Yes, so I needed to see certain items, and then other items I'm okay with like not seeing all the time. But that I realized how visual I am when I started organizing this room. And so some of the stuff sort of makes sense, and some of it is kind of like, really, Raquel? You could do better than that. But I think I'm done coloring her, because if I can be here for 3 hours adding color to this girl. So I used, let's see here, 487, I almost said that in Spanish, 487, yes, you're right, Vicky, 489, and then this is from Spectrum Noir IG2, whatever that means. Yes, and then you end up saying, oh, I don't have enough of this, and then in my case, my husband looks at me like I'm crazy, because he's like, how do you not have... How do you not have what you need? Oh my gosh. And then I feel so bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's absolutely right. How could I say that I don't have when there's like, I don't even know how many stacks of paper or whatever, and of course in the crafty circles that makes sense to us because we can be like, but it's not the right shade. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's not the right color pink. It has to be different, And then you come home and you open a drawer and you realize you had 15 others of the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna, as I said before, this little girl, her poor little feet, they're not gonna make it, but that's okay. I'm going to use this die, and I do have my Empress machine here. So I'll make my little sandwich, and she's gonna get flipped over there. And in the meantime, let's see here, while I run this and off to the side, this is one of the dies that I will be using for this because I'm making a Dex card for someone who's getting some very, very, very late mail from me. Oh my goodness. But now that I have her like so, what I want to do is I want to add some shade to this. And I'm just using a really light blue here. These markers actually are almost on their way out, but they work because they have just enough ink in them. And this is what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to go around the entire perimeter of this image, adding that tiny bit of color there. And you can do this with watercolor, you can do this with oxides. It doesn't have to be a marker. I'm just using the markers because they're here. And as we were just saying, you know, the first thing you see is what you remember to use, and if you don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Oh my gosh, I was cleaning, yes, you know what, Vay, that's a great idea to do a calendar. For instance, I've tried to have, was explaining this to someone, I try to have 3 to 4 projects going all at the same time, because I like to see my ADD as a strength and not a weakness. But more than that, because I want to make sure that I'm shifting gears, so to speak, within the types of crafts that I'm making, and using different items. So yeah, that's a really great idea to do it as a calendar. Kind of like Monday you use one thing, Tuesday the next, so on and so forth. So let's see here. All right, so there she is. And this is supposed to be blue. When I look at it, I see green, but oh well. And the other thing also, of course, is to do different types of crafts, what do you call it, collaborations and that sort of thing too. That's how I ended up with this sort of thing. You know, this was sent to me, of course. Let me see, you know what, let me zoom out. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't realize. There we go. So this was sent to me, and I never even thought to do the Dex Card thing, but I realized, okay, you know, back in the day we used to do the ATCs, and that was the thing that you traded, the artist trading card, and you would just, you know, do whatever you could in a tiny little space. And now it turns out that this is the next thing, right? That's how I ended up with those. If I saw them in a store, quite honestly, I probably would never even think to pick one up. But now I realize that it's really super cute. And my friend Janie, who's she is, oh goodness, her YouTube name is Craft Princess, I want to say. She did a video recently of a box where you can house the little Dex cards, which I'm gonna follow her tutorial because I need to make one. And I'm hoping at some point to maybe host like a little something, you know, to swap them or something like that. I don't know. That way to get to know people, because I've tried to do giveaways in the past, and for the life of me, I can't give stuff away. I don't know what it is. I'm like, okay, I just went to the store, I bought this, I put a video up, I said it was gonna be free. Nobody wants it. Alrighty. So I don't know. That's my sense of humor, y'all. If you've seen my videos before, then you know. I love to poke fun at myself. Alright, so she's gonna go on here, and I realized you know, that was kind of a waste of that, but let's see here. Oh yes, Janie is great. She's awesome. So I think, let's see here. I need a sentiment for this. And of course the difficulty that I have is in looking at this and saying, okay, how much can I put on here without it being too cumbersome if you go to put it in one of those little holder thingies. So I have no clue. But I thought, and these stamps, this is what I'm looking at. I thought this would be kind of cute. This one here, it says happy, funny, silly. And so let's give that a try. I don't know. I'm just winging it here. Even though she doesn't look funny or silly. But And she has no facial expression, so you wouldn't know she's happy. So maybe she needs the stamp. Oh gosh. Oh, which die? Let's see here. This one, this is from Nicole Silhouette. So she's a phenomenal designer of dies. So what I feel about the vendors is not what I feel about the designer, just to let y'all know. I want to be clear about that. So Nicole designed the prettiest, what do you call these things? Dex Card dies that I've seen ever. Yeah, not that I'm super familiar with them, but this one came, as a matter of fact, it came with these little corner dies. And I think, I want to say that I used this in a mini album. I can't remember. Oh, yes, babe. Buen provecho, as we say. That means, oh, what does that mean in English? To your health. Bon appetit. Have a wonderful lunch. Thank you for stopping by. And what color am I going to use on this? I don't even know. I think I want to do black, but I think I'm going to do something on the background. Yes, that die is really adorable because it does have that cute, what do you call it? Sorry guys, I'm looking for ink, so I lost my train of thought. It has that really cute motif on it, and I really like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this, and if I have about 15 of these all in pink, even though, I don't know, my mind is just all over the place. They're supposed to be for each individual color, and I think I always end up using the same one. I don't know if anyone else does that. Alright, so let's just do this. And I'm realizing this is really, really dark. But let's see where it goes. I don't know. This is a really pretty color. I wish they made nail polish this color. This is called Abandoned Coral. You're right, you can never have too much pink. And you know what's really sad? I did not even wear the color pink until I was about 36 years old. I was such a tomboy growing up that I never wore pink. I don't think I ever owned anything unless my mother made me wear it. And so it was probably just, you know, more rebellion than anything. But I had two brothers growing up, and so my favorite color has always been like olive green, and I always wear gray. But I love to craft with pink. I am going to, before I move on with this, I don't know if you guys are familiar with heat embossing, but I'm gonna hit it up with this little, I don't know what this is called. I call it the little cornstarch bag. I don't know, there's different names for that. It prevents the little mica, what do you call this stuff? It prevents these powders, embossing powders, I'm sorry, from getting all over the place. So it'll, I can't speak and I apologize. It'll make it just go to one place. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to stamp this off to the side here really quick because I'm realizing that that's not what I want to use. I always change my mind. I'm going to use my Versamark. Thank you, Karen. Anti-static bag. Yeah, oh, me and my words. There's there's a brand name one, I want to say called Crafting Buddy or something like that, but maybe I'm making that up, I don't know. Alright, so I want to make sure this is clean. There we go. I'm gonna stamp it with Versamark ink because I want it to only take the color of the embossing powder, which is called, I guess this is called Peacock Jewels. I don't know. I don't think I've ever even used it. It's got a little bit of black still there, but I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to go ahead and let this fall on here. It's just one that I grabbed out of my drawer. I wasn't thinking about it. I just, whichever one showed up was the one I took out of there. And I don't know if I'm going to like it, but let's find out. If I don't, I can just pretend I didn't do it and go with something different. Let's see here. I'm going to remove that bit on the corner because that should not be there. Don't know what happened. Okay, here we go. Now, of course, before I make a ginormous mess, I'm going to put this back in here, and I think I'm going to like it. And there we go. Now I'm going to blast this again. So cover your ears. It's going to be interesting. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not quite sure if this was the best decision. I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in instead. So this is what it looks like. I can't read it. I don't know if anyone else can read it. It's supposed to say happy, funny, what was it? Silly? So, oh, where am I? Over here. Happy, funny, silly. So, I don't know. Should I use it? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. You guys vote. Let me know. Should I use that, or should I go ahead and use the one that's black and just ink around it? In the meantime, I'll cut it out. Oh goodness. I'm not sure if that was the best decision there on that particular one, or if I should have, maybe I should have done it in white. I don't know. I'm just gonna fussy cut this, because if I end up using it on something else, that's okay. And there's that, like so. All right, I'm not sure. That seems to be, no, I can't read it. I don't see it. Back to square one. Oh my gosh. I'm going to instead use this. So this is how crafting goes. Just when you think you're going to do one thing, something else shows up. All right, so I'm going to do this instead. I think I like this better. All right. So I'm just fussy cutting around this because this has a bit of a wave on the edge. And let's see here. It won't matter. I don't need to do a straight line, although I could, but this is, there we go. I'm just kind of following the pattern of what was there. So I'm going to just go with that. Yes, I'll save it. It'll end up in the pile of all of the items that I have saved and said I'm going to use later. Oh my gosh. And somehow, you know, well, occasionally I do. If not, they end up in a drawer with all of its other little friends that didn't get used. But I want to go ahead and pop this up. So what I was thinking was that instead of using, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of metallic on the edge of that, just to kind of bring it all together. So this is just a kind of a gold, antique gold color. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do it on the edge of this die also. And it's just, it'll come across as a kind of like a bronzy color, which I think goes really, really pretty with pink, because I like to, I don't know if you guys do this, but I like to think of my coloring the same way that you put an outfit together. In fact, one conversation I had with someone was in regards to masculine, making masculine cards, because I see a lot of people comment, you know, that's so difficult and all of that. I said to her, you know, you should look at it the same way that you look at an outfit. For instance, if you tell your husband, just as an example, right? You say to your husband, you know, put this shirt with those pants and put that belt on because that's going to make you look good, right? Then in the same manner, you can approach crafting. You can approach coloring. Because if you see, for instance, this base color being a light pink, let's see here, just in case you want to see the rack I made. Yes, that would be awesome, Tamara. Yes, Irene, have a beautiful afternoon. So the same way that you see the color pink, and then there's the greens, there's a gray, all of those layers, you can look at it the same way that you would look at an outfit, and then say, okay, then what would be my dress, what would be my shirt, what would be my shoes, and then keep working with that. And then the accessories can be metallics, and that's what you can add to your project to kind of make it pop. So that's one approach that I take when I'm doing a masculine card, for instance, and it works 100% of the time. I can look at it and say, okay, then if I don't want to change the color, I can at least change the texture. And it I don't know, it's come in really handy, and I really like taking that approach to it. So here are some pieces, actually, come to think of it. These are some dies, and I might end up using this. This is called let's see here, Tudor Rose Collection. I hope you guys can see that. And this is from Spellbinders. So I've had these flowers here, and in fact I cut some out with some previous colors there, and I'm not sure if I'll use them or not, but they cut out some really cute flowers, and some of them are so big that they're almost like a doily. So I thought to maybe use that. It's got some washi tape left on there as the base for the sentiment. And I think I'll like that, but I'm wondering if I should use this other one, which is more of a flower shape. That one actually looks like this. And it's got lavender on it, but I actually like that. I think I might just do that since it's already cut out. And this other one is the one that looks like a doily, and it cuts out with this one. Or no, I'm wrong. Cuts out with this one. And it has some texture on it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and emboss that, because when I first cut it out, it didn't emboss completely. So I will do that. So I'm just going to place this here on my plate. I'm going to place the embossing mat on it. In fact, I want to put some washi on this just because I don't want it to shift. And yes, I agree, Vicky. That one's that was one of those visits to Tuesday morning. My goodness, I think that's my favorite place on earth. Forget Disney. Just drop me off at a Tuesday morning, and I have a smile on my face from the moment I walk in there till I leave. Because every once in a while you can find a really nice die set, and that one's been hanging out there for a little while, and I really like the shapes, because if you see these, let me show you, that cut out, and I hope that this is, I have a delay, so I do apologize if I sound crazy, but if you see those, you see the detail on that and the little centers. I mean, I was blown away when I saw that, but let me see if I'm okay, right there. But if you see that, the little holes that it cuts out on this one are actually triangular. I cannot find my camera. Sorry, guys. These are triangular, and then these are circular. So oh, sorry, Batiana. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if you're new to my channel or not, but welcome. Thank you so much. It's a really, really nice set, and so I'm so very happy that I got that. Okay, so this is that little base flower, and what I'll do is that I'm going to add a little bit of color to it so that we can see that beautiful texture. So I'm just peeling off that washi tape, and I'm going to use, let's see here, let's use some lavender color because I think I'm going to incorporate those little lavender flowers. So what do I have here? I'm looking at my inks here, and you know what? I think the easiest thing to do will be to use a marker. So I'm going to go ahead and use Lavender Sky, and I'm going to add my ink to this on the edge like so. And you get to see the mess I create while I'm crafting. Alright, so I'm not being too careful here with the application of this ink because I just want that edge, and then I'm going to use, let's see here, I think I want to use this one, Wilted Violet from Tonic. Or what am I saying? From Ranger. I'm going to see if that plays well with these colors. I'm not quite sure. That looks really bright. But I'm going to take one of these little daubers in the hopes that I don't ruin this, because this allows me to kind of control how much ink I put on there. And after I said that, I just went in for the kill. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Katie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just wanted to use the same colors as what I had already previously cut there. Oh my gosh. But this is really vibrant. Now, here's the good news, is that this is oxide ink. So what I'll do is that I'm gonna cheat now, and I'm trying to find my water here. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let's clean this off because it's getting crazy. And I'm going to, oh hi Giselle. Giselle, you always come in at like the perfect time. It's like when Raquel's doing something crazy, that's when Giselle shows up. Let me see here. Oh wait, I have one of these water brushes. So this is just, you know, plain old water, nothing crazy here. Alright, I just like to squeeze it and make sure that that does get on the edges there. And I'm just going to pull in some of this color because it is so vibrant on the edges there. And there we go. I think I'm going to like that better. And of course the alcohol ink is not going to spread, only the oxide ink. But that's what I love about it. It's so forgiving. It'll turn into a watercolor right before your eyes, even though it started off as a super stark violet color there. And I'm telling you, I cannot say enough good things about that ink. It's one of my favorite items in my crafty stash. Oh gosh. Okay, that is wet enough, and it is nice. Looks good enough to me. So let's get back to it. I said I was going to use this, and the phrase that I stamped, here it is. Couldn't find it. Right here. I like the way that looks, but I kind of want to add a little bit more, of course. So let's see here. I I cannot find what I just had in my hand, guys. My goodness. Here it is. I couldn't find my little dauber. I think I'm just going to add a little more violet to the edges of this little flower here. And there we go. Just to make it kind of come alive because there's so much nice texture there. There's that. And I think I like that better. And then my little sentiment will go there. And my little Gorguss Girl will go there. And of course, this is kind of a little high. Yes, Tamara. Oh my gosh, definitely. It's kind of like I know what's happening. Just, you know, I just can't get too distracted because if I do, stuff just disappears. And then I'm like, I know I had that. Where did it go? Oh my gosh. So thank God that I had these little flowers all cut out already, because that way you guys are not here for 3 hours watching me craft. But I really like the way that just looks, and I'm gonna go with that. So I'm just gonna put up here all of the items that I've used for this project so that you guys can have a visual of that. And then I'm gonna start gluing. And of course, if you have any questions, you know, I can list the items later on. But, oops, there's 2 rogue little flowers there. Okay, but again, that was 2 door flowers, a Dex card, a little stamp from, I forgot who these people are, My Mind's Eye, and a little craziness, but let's see here. This little girl's gonna get put together now, so what I'm going to do is that I'm using art glitter glue. And I'm wondering, do you guys have any questions for me while you have me here regarding anything at all? Because part of this is just, you know, to get to know one another, of course. I mean, you just saw me bend this paper. I like to give texture to the items that I make whenever possible, and that's one way to do it, is to not let the paper remain flat, just for the sake of adding interest. And I realize this is not yet adhered to the Dex card, but I just like to see how is it going to look before I stick everything down. I know some ladies take a picture of it with their phone even. This art glitter glue, just to let you know, it's really nice and strong, so I'm going to go ahead and use this for this project, because I know it'll hold the weight of the paper. And so she's going to go right there, just like that. Oh, I have a flower next to the glue. Oh, actually, I have these little swirls. I might use those too. Why not? They came out of this in the back, so I should definitely use that. I got a little bit of adhesive there, so I don't want to ruin the back of this. And then, of course, you know, at the end, I'll cut this again out of white cardstock, so that way I can write whatever I need to write on the back. And this is gonna just go in this little corner here. And try not to cover her up too much either. But that'll go there. And I know the recipient will like it because it's got a Gorguss Girl on it. And there's my Happy Funny Silly. The surviving one. So I'm gonna put that there. But of course I want to give it some glimmer. So I'm using my Jelly Roll pen, my all-time favorite pen. Those for the sentiment. I'm sorry, Betiana, I don't know if that was a question about the sentiment. But I'm just going to add a little bit of this glimmer right around the edge of this. And that's why I wasn't all too worried about being precise when cutting it. Because then that gives me an opportunity to embellish that also and just kind of give it a little shine there. And I will do the same with her hair. Gonna give her a couple little highlights there. I love doing that with the Gorguss Girls. Giving them a little shine on her belt even. And let's see here. I'm gonna set this aside for just a moment while I keep adhering these little flowers. And of course I go back and forth, but what I want to do here, okay, so I think I might want to pop this one. So I'm going to leave that there for just a moment while I add this one here. For some reason, let's see, some of these cut out completely and some didn't, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's going to go on this project. And I'm going to put the lighter color petal toward her dress so that it doesn't compete with that. And put these guys here. Pop out those little ones. Yes, I'll definitely use those little flourishes. Don't want to let those go to waste. I absolutely love it when a die has those because it makes it easier to add little tiny details. So there's that. Just gonna overlap here. And here we are. I think these will look really pretty. Kind of there. And maybe there. Kind of framing her out, so to speak. So let's go ahead and put that one there. All right, that one's gonna go right there. Oh, hi, Yorlis. Yorlis, she hosted the recent swap with the Loaded Envelope Galore group, guys. You have to go see her video. I was so inspired by it that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give it a try. It was so much fun. So Yorlis, thank you so much for hosting that, because I had gotten my feet wet with the whole Loaded Envelope Galore group about 2 years ago. And that was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I want to say it was about 2 years ago. And so I did it once, and then I was like, well, that was fun, and I moved on. And then I was talking to Robin, and she told me I should get involved because, you know, the group was a little bit different and this and that. In any case, we got talking about it, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And then I saw that sewing machine. I was like, oh yeah, I need to get into this. So thank you so much for the inspiration, Yorlis. That was a lot of fun to make. So I can't wait to see, you know. Now, just to let you guys know, I'm just using a paint over pen. This is acrylic paint, if I'm not mistaken, inside of this marker, and it's white, and this is how I do my little highlights. So I do go, you know what, let me zoom in because I'm chatting away and not realizing that you guys might not be able to see this. Let me see. Alright, so hopefully, I'm hoping that this is in frame here. Okay, so this is how I go ahead and do, thank you, Yorlis. I do my highlight, and so I just use pretty much the same techniques that I would use if I'm painting, which is to try to find the center of the image and do the lightest color there. And of course, you know, there's no need to overcomplicate things. You can make it whimsical, just go crazy with it. Don't limit yourself, because that's no fun. So there's my little highlight here and there with that. And now I can finish it off if I can find my other pen. I don't know where I put it. Does anybody know? I lost my Jelly Roll pen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see. Well, I guess I put it back. I don't even remember doing that. But now I can finish off what I wanted to do here, which was to add a bit of shimmer to her little stockings. And basically what would look grungy on the image, I try to replace with shine. So where you would see shadows on the image, you can actually add sparkle, and I think that looks really cute. And I hope you guys can see this. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much, guys. You guys are so sweet. And this came together, I have to say, it came together so easily. Mostly because, you know, I didn't have to work hard at cutting pieces out here, of course. Now, mind you, I did say I wanted to pop this up. So, let's work on that really quick. I need to cut out a circle. And I might be the only person on earth that doesn't have a small circle die. But, it doesn't have to be a circle. Let's see. I'm going to use this, even though it's a snowflake. I'm going to cut this out because I need a piece of paper that's going to allow me to pop this up. So just for the sake of using that little circle there, I cut that out. But I'm going to cut off those little bits that I don't need. Let me zoom out again. And here we go. All right. I hope I'm not making you guys dizzy, so I do apologize if I've done that with the zooming in and out. But I'm just going to cut off the little legs of the snowflake. I feel like I'm torturing the die. Oh my goodness. So, let's see here. Hi, Eileen. Thank you so much for stopping in and for saying hello to everyone. I'm just making a simple little Dex card. And of course, you know, as we say, why buy it for $7 when you can make it for $92? That's the story of my life. So I'm trying to use what I have here. Okay, all of that just to pop up a flower, but this is me. Let's complicate life a little bit. Oh my gosh. And there we go. Now I'm happy. This is my source of joy at this moment, is that I could pop up a little flower on a Dex card. There we go. But I like that. I like dimension, and I needed to have that. So, I'm going to put this away before I lose it again. I want to add this one over here also. So guess what, guys? Oh my gosh. Betiana, thank you so much. Because my insanity is not understood by every person who meets me. Oh my gosh. I feel like unless you're a crafter, everything we do is just, you know, other people will just shake their head and walk away and be like, oh my word. You know? What is wrong with these people? But that's how we are, you know? Alright. I'm going to just adhere this to the back. And I also think it takes an insane person to do these videos. Because, yeah, I'm sitting here talking by myself in a room where no one's talking back to me. I'm reading what you guys are saying, but I cannot hear your voices. And so this is, you know, I always say this is a bizarre experience. Making YouTube videos is a bizarre experience because you're having this whole conversation with no one in particular. Oh gosh. And you guys know I'm just messing around. I'm joking. Okay, so there's that. It's got dimension. It's got, and I feel like I have all these little chicken legs all over my craft space. Because that's what those little snowflake things look like to me. Oh gosh. Yes, and I'm so happy that you guys are on the other side watching, because if you weren't, then I'd really need to be committed into a mental institution. So, I'm gonna add, what do you say? Some little bling to that, right? It kind of needs a little more, doesn't it? Oh gosh, who was it? Oh, it was Love. She goes by Love Lovekins. Who I read one of her comments on one of my videos and I laughed so hard because she said, and what do you get out of it? It gives you joy. Yes, absolutely, Eileen. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Absolutely. If it brings you joy, then you're in the right place and you should be doing it. I definitely get so much happiness out of meeting people who love to craft. And let me tell you, not every experience in the crafty community is, you know, sadly, not every experience is a good one. Not everyone's intentions are good. But let me tell you, I don't care. I've met so many amazingly beautiful people through this journey, as I always say, that it makes it all worthwhile. I've learned not so much, you know, about arts and that sort of thing, because that's always been an interest of mine. But I've learned about myself, and I've learned about, you know, what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do, and it's been amazing. You know, I sometimes I tell my husband, you know what, I think I could go on a road trip. Yes, you're right, Eileen. Kindness goes a long way. Oh my gosh, just yesterday, okay, segue here. Just yesterday I was telling my husband, if I like you and if you're nice to me, man, you can get a lot out of me. But you know, discernment is a good thing because it protects you, okay? And sometimes I feel like, you know, sadly, the intentions of a person's heart are not pure, and it's evident. And when that happens, man, when I get a whiff of that, I run in the other direction so fast because of the things that I've learned the hard way, you know. So, and having said that, I enjoy doing these things, and that's what I was telling my husband. I was like, man, I love sending someone a surprise, something that they don't expect. That brings me joy, because I know that if it's their love language and that sort of thing, that they're going to be so excited when they open it, and not because it's coming from me, just because of the gesture, you know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, let's go in so you guys see what all those little sprinkle bits were about. And, all right, I think that's better. Okay, so now you guys can tell me. I'm hoping this is in focus. And again, I have a delay on here, so my, I'm hoping you guys can see this correctly. If it's fuzzy, please let me know. Yes, to let someone know, absolutely, that's true. To let someone know, okay, you know what, you came to mind. Oh, goodness. Sorry. That adhesive did not look nice. To let them know, okay, you came to mind today, and so this is how I choose to show you my, you know, affection toward you, kindness, whatever, you know what I mean? Just an expression of love. Because not everyone enjoys this sort of thing, but those who do, I think, have a particular type of personality that goes along with it. And if they appreciate it, then I'm all the more blessed by it, you know? Alright, so I'm using hot glue, and I realize this is painstaking to some people, but this is how I like to get this done, because then I know that it's going to stay. And I'm totally loving how this is coming out. Because if you watch the initial part of this video, then you know I didn't plan this. Just making it up as I go along. Oh, thank you so much, guys. This is just the little girl in her little garden here, if you will, with pinks and purples. And I found these sequins that have little hearts, and I think they're so cute. I think they came from Tuesday Morning, if I'm not mistaken. So what I did was that I just combined all of them together. And I'll show you in just a moment what I'm talking about. So I like to layer, even layering the sequins, so that way they're not all exactly the same. And that fine tip glue gun helps out a lot. All right, and I think this is complete. I'm going to call it done. I am going to cut another piece, and of course, like I said before, put my information on the back. But this has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the container that I was referring to. I hope it's on here. Here we go. Yep. So this is the little container. I just threw all of the pink ones in there and seed beads and whatnot. And I found those at Walmart for like 88 cents or something like that. Thank you, guys. You know what, Vicky, you know this about me. I think this is, you know, a process that brings me so much happiness that, yeah, it's a moment in time that, you're going to Walmart. It's a moment in time that is well spent because it's spent with friends. It's spent with people who are crafty and lovely, and I got to make something that hopefully will be well received. So, and I enabled Vicky to go to Walmart. Oh my gosh, but at least I can't be blamed for, you know, you spending too much money. However, Vicky, just to let you know, thank you. We discussed yesterday and here in my home how now if you have a permit to carry, you're no longer allowed to carry inside of a Walmart. So if anything goes down, I was telling my husband, you're essentially going to have to throw a flat screen TV at someone's head to save your life. I better stop. Oh gosh. Yeah, so you ladies go to Walmart, but make sure carry something with you. Oh gosh, in case anything goes down. Oh Lord. But yeah, this has been fun. Those are the conversations at my dinner table, okay? But that has nothing to do with crafting. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. When you start taking stuff out of your cart. Oh gosh. No, you know, we all know Walmart can be quite an interesting place. At least, you know, around here. But I was super thrilled when I found these because I had seen them in a video and I was like, oh my gosh, I need those in my life. And then when I saw them there, throw a chicken leg. Oh Lord. Yeah, go through the freezer section first, Eileen, and then do the rest of your shopping. That way you know you're safe. Oh my goodness gracious. But having said that, oh gosh, you need the pink heart. Oh, what pink heart? I don't know where it is. Was there a pink heart? Oh my goodness. Oh, the sequins. Yes, those pink heart sequins came from Tuesday Morning. They are so adorable, and you know, of course you need a magnifying glass to see them, but they're really, really cute. All I did was that I just, like I said, I just mixed them together there, and I like the opaque sequins and all of that too. And those little mixes, let me show you really quickly in case you don't know what I'm talking about, but where am I here? There we go. All right, sorry guys. The, here we go. These mixes that come, sorry guys, I had to dig a moment there. They come like this. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Here we go. They're called craft sequins. What's this say? In tins. Okay. So these came from Tuesday morning. So what I decided to do was to go ahead and mix them with whatever else I had, you know, cheap sequins, expensive sequins, you name it, seed beads. I just decided they're gonna all get mixed together. They're gonna commingle there, and then, like you guys saw, if I need a particular one, I can just go ahead and grab it out of there. And if not, then they go together nicely in those shakers. So that worked out for me, and that's what, yeah. So they're all mixed up in there. So yes, if you guys are planning an outing to Tuesday morning at Walmart. I want to come along. Oh, and then there's these sequins here, which I didn't get into. But if you see one of the other videos that I just did regarding tags and whatnot, and I made these itty bitty tiny little butterflies, these are the sequins that I made those with, because they're super duper colorful. In fact, so these would go well, for instance, in that little pink mix. They're super bright. So if you're doing itty bitty embellishments, yeah, I know, Vicky. I need to take a flight to California, but I've always wanted to go out west. That was the one place I did not get to live in. So someday, if I take a road trip, I'm stopping in Arizona and I'm stopping in California to visit my friends. Oh, their delivery, Eileen, I want to say it takes 2 weeks or so. They do have, I totally would. What was I going to say? Oh, they have a warehouse in New Jersey, and I believe they might have another one in California. But you can go on their website and take a peek at that. Their items, just to let you know, some of them are a bit more pricey than what you would pay in other places. So do your, you might want to do a little homework on what it is you're getting and how much you're paying for it. But as far as the quality of the items, every single thing that I received from them was really good. And of course, I had my selection there of whatever I wanted to get. I think I got these beads and made these little bracelets and whatnot. Now, this is not high-end jewelry, and I knew that. So, but it all depends on what it is you want to make. But I liked everything. It was all really cute. But anyway, I have rambled on long enough, I'm sure. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I am in upstate New York, yes. Was somebody asking? Wait, Yorlis, you're in upstate. Wait, I think Yorlis, aren't you close to Albany? If I'm not mistaken. I am, oh, Missouri? Eileen, no. I think you're gonna have to come to New York, because I'm close to Lake Ontario, close to Canada. I'm on the western side of New York. So the closest city near me is Rochester, New York. So if anyone wants to come to Rochester to the Eastman Museum, what else? Eastman School of Music is, the Jazz Festival. That's an international festival that happens here every summer. I highly recommend it if you like music, particularly jazz, of course, which I love. So, yeah. But I don't know what's going on in Missouri other than, I don't know. Do you guys get tornadoes out there? I'm not sure. No, Yorlis, I'm not from the city. I've been to the city a couple, maybe a handful of times, and I don't even like it. I'm a country girl. Oh, gosh. Daytona. Oh, that's wonderful. Don, I'm so glad because the storms coming around are just, oh Lord, they're you know, they're not good. I've been praying for the people in Bahamas that the Lord protect them, really, you know, because my family was hit with that Category 5 Maria a couple of years ago, and you know, it's not easy. So, yeah. It is heartbreaking because you know what I mean? Like those of us who have seen the aftermath of Maria, I went to Puerto Rico after to visit my family after that hurricane. Oh my word. When you see the devastation, there's nothing like it. So to know that the Bahamas just went through that and Bahamas is even smaller, it's not, you know, we have to pray for one another, really. Pray for the people that you know that you love, and then also pray for those you don't know, because it's just heartbreaking. South Carolina, yeah. Yes, Jorlis, I remember you said that you were going to Puerto Rico. And by the way, I never even gave you my family's address. Because I was like, hey, if you need a place to eat, go see my mom, I think I said, or something like that. Yes, my mother has a collection of plants, and she I don't know if you guys are familiar with those kind of like metal towers that you see in stores and stuff like that where people put items, but in any case, she has some of those on her I guess it would be her balcony full of these plants because she even sells them, and it's hundreds of plants, and she had to bring all of that inside of her house. So yeah, it was amazing when she told me what happened, and then of course the property was, you know, devastated with so many plants just completely gone, all of their vegetables completely gone. It's just, you know, it's like wiping the slate clean and starting all over again. But yeah, it's you know, the good thing is that tropical islands do, you know, everything grows rather quickly. But having said that, it's been 2 years since Hurricane Maria, and there are still people in Puerto Rico that do not have running water or power in their homes, and I know this to be a fact. Yeah, so it's just, you know. True. Yes, Batiana, you're right. It was. I say, you know what? We have to be grateful for every moment we have. That's a peaceful moment and a safe moment, because it can be gone in a second, you know. So guys, it is 1 p.m. Eastern time here in New York State, in upstate New York. If you're ever in the vicinity, please come by and visit. But I'm gonna have to let you guys know so that I can get this in the mail. It's been phenomenal chatting with you guys. I'm so glad that I decided to do this live today, because I love every single one of you guys. You add so much gladness to my life, and I say that sincerely because we share so much more than just the paper and the glue. As I always say, that, you know, the crafty community is about so much more than just putting little things together. Yes, you thank you guys for stopping by. Please come back again. Leave me a comment and let me know what type of content you want to see on this channel. And yeah, and take care. As I always say, be inspired and be blessed. And thank you for being here with me today. I enjoyed you guys too. Ciao.